Bring to mind those two limiting beliefs and get comfortable and get ready to go deep. This is a deep process we're about to go through. So make sure you're in a safe spot. Lay back, sit back, take a nice deep breath, and exhale slowly. Close your eyes and get centered in the space. Now I want you to think about these two limiting beliefs that you have in your life. These two beliefs that have really held you back in various areas. And what I want you to do is I want you to imagine how much they weigh on your life. Feel that weight in your body. And as you do that, I want you to think about what are the consequences by having these beliefs. What does it cost you? What does it cost you in the past, and what is it costing you now in your life to have these beliefs? In other words, what are you losing because of these beliefs? What are you missing out on? And be honest with yourself, and just don't go, well, I'm, missing out on some, I'm making all the money or the great relationships. Like, really stop and think about specific relationships or specific business issues that maybe you haven't really looked at before, but it's costing you a level of love or rapport or connection or success. And feel how that feels to feel that loss. I told you we're going deep, and I'm really counting on you right now to create the real pain in your body. Otherwise, we're just wasting our time. You have to really be willing to feel this. There's a lot of pain in the present and right now, and it's all to create a lot of pleasure in the future. This is what we're asking you to do. So what is this really costing you financially? These limiting beliefs, some of the choices that you make that affect your finances. These beliefs that affect your willingness to take some risks, to invest and go for it. How do these beliefs cost you and your self-esteem? What do they do with your self-confidence? Does it create doubt? How do you feel about yourself when you live by these beliefs? You feel powerful or weaker? How do these beliefs affect your energy level? Do they create it or do they take it away? What do you think of when you think of yourself living by these beliefs? What do you say to yourself when you look in the mirror and realize that you've allowed these beliefs to control you staying in this same place? If you imagine yourself looking in the mirror, how does your face look when you think about living with these beliefs and the weight of them pulling on you? Feel how it feels. How does it affect your spirituality, your relationship with Source? Think of what all the costs are for you physically, financially, emotionally, socially, spiritually, all the areas of your life. Now do this. Take the weight of all these limitations, all the things you're missing out on, and I want you to pull yourself into the future. And as you go into the future, I want you to step 5 years in the future and make sure you drag that with you. All the limiting feelings and experiences and limitations that these beliefs will create for another 5 years, stacking one on top of another like a giant snowball, getting bigger and bigger and bigger, pushing you further down. I want you to step into this future 5 years from now, and with you bring all the things you've missed out on, all the pain, all the frustration, all the anger that these beliefs have generated through time, all the things you've given up on, bring all of that with you. Drag it with you now, 5 years in the future. I want you to actually feel yourself going 5 years into the future. Now, as you arrive 5 years in the future, I want you to look in the mirror. If you don't think you're good at visualizing, feel as if you're looking in the mirror. Talk to yourself about these things. As you come to the mirror, take a look at your face. How do you look 5 years from now? Having lived with all these limiting beliefs and not changed at all. What's the price you've paid? Do you look younger or older? More alive or less alive? More energized or less energized? Think about it. Feel it actually be there. What's been the price? And your self-esteem? How do you feel about yourself, having lived for 5 years with these limiting beliefs and not changing them? What's been the cost to you? That's right. What do you look like physically? Did it cause you to gain weight because you didn't like the way you felt, so you tried to distract yourself through food or drinking? What's happened to your physical energy and flexibility? What has it done to your business or in your career? Have you really gone as high as you could have? Or what have you missed out on in your career because you had some of these limiting beliefs? What is the price? What is the cost of carrying these limiting beliefs forward? And again, feel it. Don't just think, feel it. Feel what it would feel like as if you're there right now. You paid that price for 5 years long. 5 years of those limiting beliefs, 5 years of giving up your power. What's been the price and the relationships? Are there any relationships that you're no longer in because of this? What does it cost you and your emotional connection with the people you care about? What are the things you didn't do because you should have? What's been the cost? Your whole life. Feel it. Now, step in the future, 10 years from now. Drag 10 years of disappointment with you. 10 years of one failure building on another. 10 years of all the limitations of these beliefs, all the things you've missed out on coming with you. 10 years in the future. Now look in the mirror and notice how you feel. If you're older or younger, more alive or less alive. Does your body feel heavier or lighter? Do you feel stronger or weaker? What do you say to yourself as you look at yourself after living this way for a decade, 10 years? What did you give up? What did you give up emotionally? How much frustration have you experienced for 10 years because of these beliefs? How many things were you afraid of? How many things did you not show up for? How many things did you give up on? How much pain have you experienced because of these lousy little beliefs? Who's in your life? How do your friends think of you? How do you think of yourself? Having given up on that level of passion that you deserved back then. What's happened to you spiritually? What's happened to you physically? And what's happening financially and emotionally? What's the price of these beliefs? Feel the pain and make it real for you. And now step 20 years into the future. Drag 2 decades, 20 years of pain with you all the way and feel all the things you've missed out on for 20 years, culminating on your back. All the things that you've given up on. And look in the mirror and notice what your face looks like and what your body looks like. Are you healthy or not? Do you feel lighter or heavier or stronger or weaker? More alive or less alive? More excited or totally depressed and disappointed? Where are you? What's happened to you? What price did you pay for these lousy beliefs? What did it cost you in your relationships? What did it cost you in your career, in your business? What did you do because of these beliefs? What didn't you try? What didn't you go for? What does it cost you physically, emotionally, spiritually, financially? What does it cost your family life? What do you say to yourself after 20 years of living this way with these limiting beliefs? Feel the pain and make it real. See all the prices that you've paid, all the things that you've given up on, all the things that you've missed out on in life. How do you feel about your life if you live this way for 20 years? And decide if you're really willing to live this way. Are you willing to have this be your destiny? If this is painful enough, then you are absolutely committed to never living this way again. Your brain will change your beliefs. If not, you better keep working on this until it's really painful. Do whatever it takes. Ask yourself questions. Feel the pain. This is only the shadow of the future. And this can be changed by changing your beliefs. So come backwards in time, back to today, and realize that none of this has happened yet. Fortunately, come all the way back to today. Realize that none of this has happened yet. It doesn't have to happen if you make some changes. As you do, as you come back, you may notice that if you did this, if you're really, really willing to feel the feelings, you may have been bent over as you got older, as you felt more of the weight of those problems. As you come back to today, you might find yourself sitting or standing more upright, breathing more fully, feeling more alive. And you may want to shake your body out and interrupt that pattern. Get out of that state completely. Change your physiology, change your state by moving your body around and bounce up and down, move around, breathe completely out of that state. Your brain should be, at this point, really motivated to change its beliefs. It should have associated enough pain. So what we need to do is real simple. We need to get ourselves in a great state and decide what are 2 beliefs that we really want and that would empower us right now. change your body radically. I want you to stand, move around, move in a way that would have you totally energized, totally excited, totally passionate. Notice your breath, the gestures, expressing yourself the way that you would. Start talking out loud. Use your voice if you want right now. Get really excited. You did not live this way. This is not your future. If you choose to make a change, if you change your approach, as you create and start thinking of what the opposite of your old beliefs are, if you're going to change these 2 beliefs and install 2 new beliefs that are going to empower you, what would those 2 new beliefs be? I want you to keep that in mind as you take a seat. If you were up, jumping around, getting energized, keep that in mind, or bring to mind these 2 beliefs. So open your eyes and come back into the space.